Your pediatrician prescribed MiraLAX for your child's constipation and told you it was safe, but weeks later, your child is experiencing meltdowns, anxiety, and behavioral changes you've never seen before. You start wondering if something is wrong, but no one warned you this could happen. Here's what most parents don't know. MiraLAX isn't FDA approved for children under 17, and the FDA has received numerous reports of serious neuropsychiatric side effects in kids, including anxiety, aggression, paranoia, and obsessive compulsion behaviors. If your child is taking MiraLAX or another laxative for chronic constipation, and you've noticed mood swings, you've noticed anxiety or behavior changes, then this video is for you. Or maybe you're just wondering why the constipation keeps coming back, even though you're doing everything the doctor said. First, take a breath. You're not overreacting. So many parents tell us, I was skeptical at first, but I knew something wasn't adding up. Because in this video, we'll talk about why MiraLAX isn't FDA approved for long-term use in children and some side effects that often aren't discussed. We'll also explain what we call the perfect storm, how stress, birth interventions, illness, and antibiotics can dysregulate a child's nervous system and how that dysfunction often shows up as constipation. Because constipation isn't just a digestive issue, it's often a nervous system issue. Laxatives can create a bowel movement, but they don't restore natural function. There's a different approach, one that focuses on calming and regulating the nervous system so your child's body can heal the way it was designed to. But before we jump into all of that, listen to Laura's story. Laura never imagined that a medication recommended by her pediatrician could make her son worse. Justin had struggled with constipation since infancy, and when the doctor prescribed MiraLAX, she trusted it would help. Instead, Justin developed severe behavioral side effects, anxiety, aggression, and emotional outbursts that seemed to come out of nowhere. I had no idea MiraLAX could make his behavior even worse, Laura shared. My doctor definitely didn't tell me that, and he mentioned nothing about MiraLAX side effects. And Laura's experience isn't rare. According to the American Academy of Family Physicians, constipation affects up to 30% of children worldwide, and many pediatricians turn to polyethylene glycol, the active ingredient in MiraLAX, as a first line care plan. But the potential risks are often overlooked, leaving parents like Laura searching for answers when their child's health deteriorates instead of improves. And MiraLAX isn't FDA approved for kids under 17, yet it is one of the most commonly recommended solutions for chronic constipation. That means when it's prescribed for children, it's considered off label. And here's what many parents aren't told: the FDA has received numerous reports of neuropsychiatric side effects in kids. We talked about it: anxiety, the aggression, the mood swings, even OCD type behaviors. And on top of all of that, common side effects include bloating, gas, nausea, cramping, and diarrhea. And in rare cases, there can even be severe bleeding or electrolyte imbalances. Now, hear my heart on this. This hits home. I was a kid who was on MiraLAX. Most pediatricians, they're trying to help, but traditional medicine is trained to manage constipation as a symptom, not to ask why it's happening in the first place. So when side effects show up, the dosage just gets adjusted or another medication gets added, and kids stay dependent while the root cause remains untouched. So let's talk about how MiraLAX actually works. It works through something called osmosis. It's pulling water into the intestines to artificially soften the stool. But that bypasses your child's natural digestive process, which is supposed to be regulated by the nervous system. The nervous system's it's like air traffic control. It coordinates every step of digestion from start to finish. And when we rely on laxatives long term, it's like pressing the gas pedal with the parking brake on. You might force movement, but you're straining the entire system. And we know from research that disrupting natural processes has long term consequences. For example, kids who receive multiple rounds of antibiotics before the age of 2 are significantly more likely to develop allergies, to develop asthma, and gut issues later on. It's because the body keeps a score. Now let's zoom out. Constipation rarely starts the day you notice it. What's been brewing underneath is what we call the perfect storm. Prenatal stress can shape a baby's developing nervous system, wiring it for a heightened fight or flight pattern. We can have birth interventions like C-section, forceps, or vacuum extraction. They can create physical stress on the spine, leading to what we call subluxations. It's stuck stress that interferes with the nervous system's communication. And then we have environmental toxins, we have heavy metals, pesticides, plastics. It can further disrupt neurological function. And on top of all of that, repeated rounds of antibiotics weaken the gut health and disrupt the bacterial balance on the inside. So when you layer those together, you often get what's called sympathetic dominance. It's a nervous system spending more time in stress mode, more time in fight or flight. And a child whose nervous system is stuck in stress mode, it's like a computer with too many tabs open. It's unable to coordinate something as basic as digestion. So at this point, you might be asking, so what is the path forward, right? At Rising Health, we focus on neurologically focused chiropractic care. We look for subluxations. We look for the stuck stress on the nervous system that's causing the nervous system dysfunction, not just where it hurts, but where communication has broken down. We use our insight scanning technology. It gives us a detailed picture of your child's nervous system, heart rate variability to measure balance. We have thermal imaging to assess blood flow and inflammation, SCMG to evaluate neuromuscular tension, different objective measures to see what is the nervous system doing. And then from there, we use gentle, specific adjustments to reduce that sympathetic stress, to activate the vagus nerve, essentially decrease the gas pedal, activate the brake pedal so that the restoration of that rest and digest state can happen. And often, digestive motility is one of the first things to improve when nervous system balance is restored. I think of Justin again. His insight scans showed clear subluxations and significant sympathetic dominance. And after several weeks of care, his bowel movements normalized, his stomach pain subsided, and his behavior improved so dramatically that his family, alongside their medical team, chose to discontinue his ADHD medication. That's what happens when you address the foundation, tackling the root of it, the nervous system. Because, like we said before, your child's constipation isn't just a digestive issue, it's neurological. MiraLAX may offer temporary relief, but it doesn't explain why your child's nervous system can't regulate digestion in the first place. And it doesn't come without potential risks. So, if you've been doing everything right, but still not seeing lasting change, it may simply be that you've been working in the wrong order. The foundation has to come first. When you restore nervous system function, everything else can finally work the way it was designed to. If your child is struggling with chronic constipation or you've seen side effects from MiraLAX or other medications, we invite you to explore a drug free root cause approach. Click the link in our bio, send us a DM, or schedule directly with me, Dr. Jeremy, or Dr. Devin at Rising Health here in Knoxville. Your family deserves answers, and more importantly, you deserve hope. Take that next step. Reach out. We're here to help.